Every holiday, my cousins were showered with expensive gifts while I was given cheap trinkets wrapped as a joke. This year I unwrapped yet another insult, but before dessert was served, I stood and revealed the truth about who Grandma really trusted all along. I need to write this down before I lose my mind completely. Maybe someone will read this and learn from the worst mistake I've ever made. Maybe it'll save someone else from becoming the monster I became. It started with a text message. One thoughtless text message that I sent to my coworker Sarah instead of my wife Emma. Can't wait to feel hands on me again tonight. The message was meant for Emma. We'd been married 8 years, together for 12. We had 2 kids, Maya 6 and Jake 4. I was supposed to be the good husband, the reliable father, the man who came home every night and his wife hello. But I wasn't. For 3 months, I'd been having an affair with Sarah from my marketing department. It started innocent enough, working late together on a project, grabbing coffee, sharing complaints about our marriages. She was going through a rough patch with her husband. I was feeling neglected at home with Emma always tired from managing the kids in her part-time job. That's what I told anyway. The truth, I was selfish, I was weak. I wanted the thrill of someone new wanting me. The text went to Emma at 20:47 p.m. on a Tuesday. My phone rang 30 seconds later. What did just send me? Emma's voice was ice cold. My turn to cement. I looked at my phone, saw Emma's name at the top of the conversation thread, and watched my entire world collapse in real time. Emma, I couldn't breathe. The office around me seemed to tilt. That was what Mike. That was for Wei Cho. Sarah was sitting 3 desks away. She looked over when she heard my voice. I turned away from her, walked to the bathroom, locked in a stall. I can explain. The words fell out of my mouth like, explain what? Explain how my husband of 8 years has been sleeping with someone else. Explain how the father of my children has been lying to my face every single day. I'd never heard Emma cry like that. Raw, guttural sobs that made my chest feel like it was caving in. Emma, please just let me come home. Let me explain in person. Don't dare come to this house. Don't dare come near our children right now. The line went dead. I stood in that bathroom stall for 20 minutes shaking. When I finally came out, Sarah was waiting by the sinks. Was that wife? She whispered. I nodded. I couldn't look at her. This woman I'd thrown my away for suddenly looked like a stranger. What are we going to do? She asked. Oh, there is no we. This is over. This was always going to be over. Sarah's face changed. We're just going to pretend this never happened. I'm going to try to save my marriage. She laughed. But it wasn't funny. Good luck with that. I drove home in a daze. Every red light felt like. I kept trying to call Emma but she wouldn't pick. I called my house phone, no answer. I tried texting, the messages showed as delivered but no responses came. When I pulled into my driveway at 4:30, Emma's car was gone. I used my key to get in. The house was eerily quiet. No kids laughing, no TV playing cartoons, no Emma humming while she folded laundry. On the kitchen counter was a note in Emma's handwriting. Our kids and I are staying at my sister's. Don't call, don't text, don't show there. I need time to think about what happens next. The fact that could send that message shows me you're not the man I thought I married. I crumpled the note and it across the room. Then I immediately picked it, smoothed it out, and read it again. Her words felt like glass in my throat. I called her sister Lisa. Voicemail. I tried Emma's mom. She picked on the first ring. Have some nerve calling here. She said, Mrs. Patterson, please. I just need to talk to Emma. My daughter is heartbroken, Mike. Absolutely heartbroken. And those poor babies don't understand why mommy is crying. The image of my kids confused and scared made me physically sick. I made a terrible mistake. The worst mistake of my. But I love Emma. I love our family. If loved family wouldn't have done this. She hung. I sat in my empty house as the sun went down. Every room reminded me of what I'd lost. The couch where Emma and I watched movies. The kitchen table where we ate breakfast with the kids every morning. Maya's artwork on the refrigerator. Jake's toys scattered across the living room floor. I destroyed all of it for 3 months of excitement with a woman who didn't even care about me. My phone buzzed. A text from Sarah. Are okay? Want to talk? I blocked her number immediately. Then I opened a bottle of and started drinking. By midnight I was crying on my kitchen floor, looking at wedding photos on my phone. In one picture, Emma was laughing at something I'd whispered in her ear. She looked so happy, so trusting. She had no idea that 7 years later, her husband would betray her in the cruelest way possible. I stayed all night torturing with memories. Our first date. The day I proposed. Emma walking down the aisle in her wedding dress, tears of joy in her eyes, holding Maya for the first time. Emma's face when Jake said his first word. All of it contaminated now by my selfishness. The next morning I went to work like a zombie. Sarah tried to approach me twice. I walked away both times. My boss asked if I was feeling okay. I mumbled something about a stomach bug. I kept checking my phone every 5 minutes, hoping for a message from Emma. Nothing. That evening, I drove to Lisa's house. Emma's car was in the driveway. I sat outside for an hour, trying to work the courage to knock. Finally Lisa came out. She doesn't want to see Mike. I just need 5 minutes. Please, she's not ready. Give her space. Can I at least see the kids? They must be confused about why Daddy isn't home. Lisa's face softened slightly. Maya asked where we're this morning. Emma told her had to go away for work. Jake keeps asking when coming to play trucks. My throat closed. Tell them I love them. Please tell them Daddy loves them so much. I will. But Mike need to understand something. Emma trusted completely. That woman has never doubted for a second in 12 years. What did it didn't just break her heart, shattered her ability to trust anyone. I drove home and sat in my empty house again. The silence was suffocating. That night, I made a decision that would make everything infinitely worse. I created a social media account and started looking Sarah's husband. I thought I'd hit rock bottom when Emma found out. I was wrong. Rock bottom was still coming. That social media account I made to Sarah's husband, that was the beginning of my complete mental breakdown. His name was David. He was a pediatric nurse at the children's hospital. His profile was full of pictures with their twin daughters age 8, soccer games, birthday parties, family vacations. He looked like a genuinely good guy, just like Emma probably thought I was a good guy. I spent 3 days scrolling through his photos, hating more with each one. There was one where he was helping his daughters build a snowman, both girls laughing as they put a carrot nose on crooked. The caption read, "Best daddy in the world according to Lillian Rose. I'm the luckiest man alive." I wanted to throw my phone against the wall. On Friday Emma finally called me. "We need to talk," she said. Her voice sounded hollow, exhausted. "Yes. Please. When, where?" "Tomorrow morning, the coffee shop on Maple Street. Kids will be with my mom." I barely slept that night. I got to the coffee shop 30 minutes early and sat in the corner booth, rehearsing what I'd say. I had this fantasy that I could somehow explain it all away, convince her it was just a mistake, prove that I was still the man she married. When Emma walked in, I almost didn't recognize her. She looked like she'd aged 5 years in 4 days. Dark circles under her eyes, hair pulled back in a messy ponytail, wearing an old sweater I hadn't seen in months. She sat down across from me and didn't say hello. "How long?" she asked. "Emma, how long, Mike?" 3 months. She closed her eyes like I'd slapped her. 3 months. While I was planning Jake's birthday party. While I was taking care of sick mother last month. While we were making love and were telling me loved me. Each word felt like it meant nothing, I said desperately. It was just physical. It wasn't real. If it meant nothing, why did keep doing it for 3 months? I had no answer for that. "Do love her?" Emma asked. "No. God, no. I've only ever loved." Then why? The question I'd been asking for 4 days straight. Why did I destroy everything for someone who didn't matter? "I don't know," I whispered. I think I felt invisible at home, like we were just going through the motions. We're always tired, always stressed about the kids or work or money. We barely talked anymore except about logistics. Emma's face went completely blank. "So this is my fault?" "No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm trying to explain." Right," she said quietly. "I have been tired." "Do you know why I've been tired, Mike?" "Because I've been working part-time, managing our household, raising our children, and trying to be a good wife to a man who was apparently bored with me. I wanted to disappear. I've been tired because I thought we were a team. I thought understood that this is what marriage looks like when have young kids. I thought we're in it with me for the long haul." She started crying then, but not the sobbing from the phone call. These were quiet tears that somehow worse to watch. "I trusted completely, Mike. When worked late, I never questioned it. When went out with coworkers, I was happy we're having fun. When seemed distant sometimes I figured we're stressed about work." Each word was destroying me. "I need to know everything," she said. "Where did meet? How many times? Where did go?" I told her everything. The late nights working together, the first in the parking garage, the hotel rooms, every sordid detail she asked for, watching her a little more with each answer. "The night of Maya's school play," she said suddenly. "Said had to work late, but came home smelling like perfume." I nodded. I was so proud that night. Maya did such a good job as the flower in the school garden. I kept looking for in the audience, wanting to share that moment. When got home, I told all about it and seemed so interested. "So sorry, missed it. Sorry, but not sorry enough to stop screwing coworker." The coffee shop suddenly felt too small. Other customers were starting to stare. "What do you want, Emma? How can I fix this?" "Can't." She wiped her eyes with a napkin. "Can't unbreak trust, Mike. Can't take back 3 months of lies. Can't make me forget that while I was falling asleep exhausted every night, grateful to have beside me, or fantasizing about another woman. We can go to counseling. We can work through this." I already called a lawyer. The words hit me like a physical. "Emma, please, don't do this. Think about the kids. Think about our family." "I am thinking about the kids. I'm thinking about what kind of example we set for them. I'm thinking about whether I want Maya to grow believing this is what love looks like. I'm thinking about whether I want Jake to think it's okay to betray the people who trust most." She stood to leave. "Wait," I said. "When can I see them?" "Maya and Jake. I don't know yet. I need to figure out how to explain to a 6-year-old and a 4-year-old that Daddy isn't living with us anymore." She walked out, leaving me alone at that coffee shop table, staring at 2 untouched cups of coffee. That afternoon, I went to work and immediately got called into my boss's office. "Mike, we need to discuss some concerns that have been brought to our attention." My stomach dropped. Sarah was sitting in the chair next to me, looking anywhere but at my face. "It's come to light that and Sarah have been involved in an inappropriate relationship. This violates our company policy and creates a hostile work environment." I looked at Sarah. "Reported this. Her husband contacted HR yesterday," my boss continued. "Apparently, he found some messages on her phone." The room started spinning. Sarah had told her husband. Or he'd found out some other way. Just like Emma found out. "We're gonna have to let go, Mike." Effective immediately. I was unemployed. My wife was divorcing me. I was about to lose my house, my kids, everything. That evening, I sat in my empty living room with a bottle of whiskey staring at my phone. I had 17 missed calls from my mother, 6 from my brother, heard in dozens of texts from friends and family who'd apparently heard the news. The worst one was from my dad. "Disappointed doesn't begin to cover it, son." Around midnight, completely I did the stupidest thing yet. I drove to Sarah's house. David answered the door in pajamas. He was smaller than I'd expected with kind eyes behind wire-rimmed glasses. He looked exhausted. "Must be Mike," he said quietly. "I'm so sorry," I slurred. "I need to know how sorry I am. Need to leave. Now, please. Just let me explain." "Wife, she didn't mean anything to me. It was just what? Just fun. Just something to do when we're bored. Behind him, I could see Sarah at the top of the stairs watching. Do have any idea what've done to my family? David continued. My daughters asked me today why mommy has been crying for 3 days straight. Do you know what it's like to try to explain betrayal to 8-year-old girls? I started crying then, right there on his doorstep. Destroyed marriage and destroyed mine. For what? For nothing. He started to close the door then stopped. Wife called me yesterday, Emma. She wanted to apologize for behavior. Can believe that. The woman cheated on was apologizing to me for the pain caused my family. The door slammed shut. I drove home, which could have killed someone. I was becoming the kind of man who made one terrible decision after another, each one worse than the last. When I got home, there was an envelope taped to my front door. Divorce papers. 6 months later, I'm writing this from a studio apartment that smells like cigarettes and desperation. The divorce was finalized last week. Emma got the house primary custody, and half of everything I had left after legal fees. I see my kids every other weekend if I'm lucky. Let me tell what that's like. Maya, my 6-year-old, used to run to me when I came home from work. Daddy, Daddy, she'd scream, jumping into my arms like I was her favorite person in the world. Now when I pick her for my weekend visits, she hugs me politely and asks when she's going home to mommy. Last month, she drew a picture at school of our family. It was Emma, Maya, her and Jake holding hands in front of our old house. I wasn't in the picture. When I asked her about it, she said, the teacher said to draw our family at home. Don't live at home anymore, Daddy. Jake, who's now 5, has started wetting the bed again. Emma told me through her lawyer that it started right after I moved out. The pediatrician says it's trauma response. My 4-year-old son is wetting the bed because his father destroyed his sense of security. The custody arrangement is brutal. I get them Saturday morning to Sunday evening twice a month. Emma drops them off at a McDonald's parking lot halfway between our old house and my apartment. We don't speak. She won't even look at me. Those weekends are. The kids are polite but distant. Maya asks why I can't come home. Jake cries for mommy every night. I've become a stranger to my own children. I take them to parks, movies, restaurants, desperately trying to cram quality time into 30 hours every 2 weeks. They humor me, but I can see it in their eyes. I'm not their daddy anymore. I'm the man who broke their family. 3 months ago, Maya started seeing a child therapist. Emma's lawyer sent me the bill along with a note. Daughter is having nightmares about families falling apart. My 6-year-old daughter needs therapy because of what I did. The financial destruction has been complete. Legal fees ate through most of our savings. I'm paying child support and alimony on unemployment benefits. I had to sell my car and take the bus. I shop at dollar stores and eat ramen noodles for dinner. But the money isn't even the worst part. The worst part is the loneliness. I used to have friends, family gatherings, neighborhood barbecues, Maya's soccer games, Jake's playground dates. Now I'm a pariah. Emma's friends won't talk to me. My friends have chosen sides and it wasn't mine. My brother still calls sometimes, but our conversations are awkward. How are holding? He asks, and we both know there's no good answer. My parents are devastated. My mom cries every time we talk. My dad just sounds disappointed. They loved Emma like a daughter. They were proud of me, proud of the family I'd built. Now they can barely look at me at family gatherings. When they do invite me, which is rare, everyone walks on eggshells. The elephant in the room is that I destroyed the best thing in my for nothing. I finally found a new job last month. It pays 30% less than my old one. And I have to work with people who found out about my story through mutual connections. I'm the guy who cheated on his wife. That's my reputation now. Sarah, by the way, didn't fare much better. David divorced her too. She moved to another state with her daughters. I heard through the grapevine that she's struggling, working 2 jobs to make ends meet. We destroyed 4 adults and 4 children for 3 months of selfishness. But here's the thing that really haunts me: Emma is thriving. I drive by our old house sometimes. Just to the lawn is perfectly maintained. There are new flowers in the garden. Maya's bike is in the driveway, and I can see Jake's playground in the backyard. Last month, I saw Emma coming out of the front door, laughing at something Maya said. She looked lighter, happier than I'd seen her in years. It hit me then. I'd convinced that our marriage was broken, that we were both unhappy, that my affair was somehow inevitable. But Emma wasn't unhappy. She was tired because she was doing everything. She was stressed because she was carrying our entire family on her shoulders while I checked out. And now, without me dragging her down, she's flourishing. The kids seem happier too. When I see them playing in the yard, they're carefree in a way they weren't before. The tension that filled our house in those final months before my affair was discovered, that was coming from me. My guilt, my distraction, my emotional absence. They're better off without me. That realization was the final nail in the coffin of my self-respect. I've been going to therapy, trying to understand how I became this person. Dr. Martinez keeps asking me what I thought would happen. Did I think I could keep the affair secret forever? Did I think Emma would never find out? Did I think there wouldn't be consequences? The honest answer, I didn't think at all. I just wanted what I wanted in the moment, and I told I deserved it. I deserved excitement. I deserved attention. I deserved to feel desired. What I actually deserved was to lose everything. The affair itself lasted 3 months. The consequences will last forever. Maya will grow with trust issues. Jake will remember that families can disappear overnight. Emma will struggle to trust again if she ever decides to date. And me? I'll spend the rest of mine knowing that I had everything: beautiful, loving wife, 2 perfect children, a happy home, and I had all away for someone who meant nothing to me. Every holiday now I'm alone. Christmas morning, I video chat with my kids while they open presents at a house I used to live in. Emma hovers in the background, making sure they stay safe from the man who used to be their father. On Father's Day, I get a card made at school with Maya's careful handwriting. Dear Daddy, I lived with us. I keep that card on my refrigerator in my empty apartment, and it makes me cry every time I see it. People ask me if I regret the affair. That's like asking if I regret off my own legs. Of course I regret it, but regret is useless. Regret doesn't bring back trust. Regret doesn't rebuild families. Regret doesn't make children feel safe again. I see other men sometimes at bars at work, online talking about their marriages like they're burdens, complaining about their wives, joking about attractive coworkers, acting like commitment is a prison. I want to shake them and scream. Do know how lucky are. Do know what have. But I don't, because I'm the cautionary tale now. I'm the guy who proves that it can all disappear in one moment. If we're reading this and are married, hurt and even thinking about stepping out on spouse, let me save some time, it's not worth it. Whatever problems think have in marriage, whatever excitement think are missing, whatever justifications are building in head, none of it is worth this. The momentary thrill isn't worth watching children cry. The ego boost isn't worth becoming a stranger to own family. The excitement isn't worth losing self-respect forever. I had 12 beautiful years with Emma. We laughed together, built a home together, created 2 perfect children together. She trusted me completely, loved me unconditionally, and believed in me when I didn't believe in. I traded all of that for 3 months with someone whose last name I barely remembered. Some mistakes can fix, some relationships can repair, some trust can rebuild. This isn't one of them.